See you later.
That's all.
We'll turn it into controversy. You'll be New Orleans' most hated DJ. Or between like maybe 5 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd have to do a little bit more
yeah,
than that.
The 5 people that I don't know, that don't even know me, that don't know any of us. I mean, I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing?
That's right. They still hate me. So,
man, well, that's. I mean, you know, I've learned that some people just deserve hate.
Wait, you saying I deserve
no,
hate?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not saying you.
Not at all.
But some people.
Some people. So, no, my suggestion is I fucking hate them back.
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems like a waste of energy.
Yeah, no hate. Just love.
It will. Yeah. Yeah. I like to think that. And then I look at, like, wars.
Well,
all right.
That's a very pessimistic outlook, but
it is, but
that's the world we live in. So
I think it's cynical. Do I get away with it if I say it's realist? If I'm just a realist?
That's what I am.
That's
people say I'm depressing, but I just say I'm a realist.
Definitely, I get that from time to time. And we're like, well, it makes sense. I'm fucking depressed. Guys, welcome to Under the Influencers. I know that is a crazy way to start out such a show, but you know, sometimes you got to get real. Thanks for tuning in. I am sitting today with 2 of the purveyors of New Orleans drum and bass, Taylor Castillo, a.k.a. Coastill, and Joe Duzac, a.k.a. Glassy. Yeah, guys, thank y'all for coming in today, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's you know, when it comes to I've been around the drum and bass and jungle scene in New Orleans for a long time, and I'd never met y'all before, I guess, like right at pandemic time.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it was our 3rd Jungle Punch.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we had the Mississippi crew down.
Yeah, man. That's my folks right there. Shout out 360.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah.
Shout out Jeffy D.
Jeffy D for sure. We'll throw a Melissa couch in there too.
Can we get a close up on Joe's shirt here?
Yeah, hell yeah.
The cameraman, can you zoom it in? Thanks.
Yeah, we got that. We got that one. That'll be done post production. So yeah, you know, to see new faces. Always and drum and bass, especially since it's such a small scene, always inspires me, man. And you know, y'all are perfect.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you. Absolutely. You know, always feel real at home at y'all shows, man. Like it's y'all bring in good talent, and y'all are always real engaging. I noticed that about y'all. Y'all take the time to you know, interact with like everybody that comes.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
We really appreciate it. We try to thank everybody.
Yeah.
Personally.
So y'all are just coming off of a 2-year run at Portside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Close to 2 years.
Yeah, that's what's up,
man. Instead of ending with a finale, it kind of ended with a.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, it was a fun show.
Yeah.
It was a fun show, man. Everybody went hard.
Well, and it's not over.
So
for those watching, Portside, our venue closed down, which was unfortunate. Joe and I were both very close with the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Joe's actually known him since
high school.
Yeah. And he was my neighbor. I live in a neighborhood. So it was sad on a number of
you
levels.
were right behind it, right?
Yeah, I was about 2 houses down. So it was sad to see it close on a number of levels. But you know, we always said that's not stopping us, and we have actually line up TBA, but we do have the next Jungle Punch lined up.
That's what's up.
What's the date, Joe?
It's going to be September 16th.
Yeah, so we'll have more to announce on that soon.
Okay,
we'll be announcing it soon.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We found a new venue that hopefully will work out. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, they have a courtyard. They have an upstairs where we'll probably be throwing most of the parties. And so, yeah, it'll be fun. They got food.
Yeah, and it's a nice little intimate spot.
Yeah, and it's in the warehouse district.
Yeah.
You know, where we really started picking up speed by working with Techno Club.
Yeah.
At their nights, we were doing they had a thing called Spectrum where it was more multi-genre, and they gave us pretty much a monthly. And NOLA DNB kind of curated and went through the rotation of DJs local that we had, and it was fun. And then the pandemic took that away.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was nice to get Portside and get that flowing again, and and it was cool being in that little neighborhood. But now we're back in the warehouse district, so hopefully that'll bring
Which seems
people
like
out.
a weird home for drum and bass.
What, Portside?
No,
the warehouse.
The Portside, I thought it was great,
No, it
man. It
was
like
a
Jungle
tiki-
Punch. It's a tiki bar.
Right.
And
Yeah.
fucking,
Yeah.
I thought it was perfect. And it's I mean, you can't take away from the grimy element to it too,
No.
man. Like that is it's a rough and tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's so
We were in the hood.
yeah.
Drum and
word.
bass should not be like pretty. It's not popping champagne bottles.
It's
and-
not, man. And LA has turned it into that, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if y'all know about LA, but like Dirty Phonics and all those dudes, man. They have turned it into like glam shit, bro. But
Wow.
whatever,
I mean,
you know.
respect to that. Anybody that's bringing
Yeah.
more people into the genre,
Right.
love it. But
Yeah.
for me, the appeal is always that it's a little dirty.
Yeah,
you know?
this place is a dive bar.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
The warehouse place he's talking about, the new spot.
it's
So
not really swanky kind of
Yeah.
like that. No, it's more of a dive bar. So
That's what's up.
I think that'll be cool. So.
Yeah. Well, if anything is proven true, is that New Orleans, no matter what it's got to go through, will keep the drum and bass in the jungle alive. It's heavily rooted here. This is the first place I ever heard jungle. It was the first place I ever heard drum and bass, man. I'm gonna tell you, when I first heard it, it made me paranoid as a motherfucker, man. It was either that or the cocaine. One of those two things, but the combination of the two of them wasn't really working for me, man.
I can understand that.
And then I got trapped in a car with, I don't know if y'all have ever heard the original Jungle Book mix compilation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that and LTJ Bookham's progression session.
Hey.
nice.
And,
Yeah.
and man, I was on from there. I was just like, yeah, this is it.
The smooth,
Yeah.
the smooth
Smooth
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
man.
what got
The
me,
jump
too.
ups, the jump ups. Is that what got? That's what I was just fixing to ask. Is what got y'all turned on?
Well, the first time I heard drum and bass was I don't know if you remember. There was a movie called Pie. It came out like in '97,
No.
and
Oh, dude,
Ronnie
watch the
Size
movie.
has a track on there.
Mm-hmm.
But Clint Mansell, who doesn't really make drum and bass, but he is like a movie score producer, wrote one drum and bass song for the main theme of that movie, and it has an amen break. And the first time I heard that, because at the time I was really into like heavy industrial music, and because that was like a thing. I was in a band doing like sampling, and so we were kind of like a White Zombie-ish, somewhat not
Gotcha.
Nine Inch Nails, but we had a little bit of hip hop too. It was a weird combination of things at the time, but anyway, I heard that and I was like, this is absolutely amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's like hip hop, but like sped up fast and like hard bass and what the hell is this? But I didn't really know anybody that listened to it. That's all I had. And, from there I
Right.
started like looking and stuff. And then I met a friend of mine who was able to like, no, this is what you need to listen to, and gave me all kind of CDs. And next thing I know, I started producing it myself and writing it myself.
Yeah, word.
And then I started opening for DJs at the Hi-Ho back in like the early 2000s.
That the first place you played?
That was like the first, like doing it with samplers and a synthesizer and like one CDJ to like run my drums. And I kind of like played live along, like, because that was my thing, playing live.
Yeah.
And then over time, it got kind of like, Bricks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
it moved to the Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
And then it was like Thursday nights, and here I am lugging out keyboards. I got work the next day. And I'm like, this is getting daunting. And then my friend Bradley taught me how to DJ, and a few other, A-Tech and a
Oh,
few
yeah.
other guys. And they like sat me down, like, this is how you do it. And my friend J Double, and
Yeah,
I
shouts
learned
out.
how to DJ. And then next thing you know, like 2007, 8, I played my first DJ show at the Dragon's Den. And then here we are now with Taylor. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, where'd you get plugged in?
My journey is a little different.
Yeah, tell me
So
about
I'm not originally from New Orleans. I'm from D.C. area. Grew up in Arlington, Virginia, and I got into it. It was high school, man. I was 14 or 15, and I was kind of on my early musical journey. I was really into metal music, but I was just kind of discovering electronic, and I was already developing an affinity for break beats. I was not into like the 4 on the floor stuff at the time.
All right.
And it was around the time Hold Your Color had come out. This was about 04, 05.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Pendulum, obviously, I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
But I was more of a metal guy, and like 9 Inch Nails, same kind of deal. And it was Calyx featuring TB, Follow the Leader, and that whole Calyx album on Moving Shadow that clicked it for me. And I had a friend, the only other dude probably in Arlington County that was 15 and knew what drum and bass was. And two of us just kind of started diving into it. You know, we were on all the...
He already knew.
Yo, yeah, he already knew too. And he got into it from Wipeout, the PS1 game.
Yeah.
The soundtrack on that.
Wild,
yeah.
Man. That's wild.
And yeah, man, we just got really active very quickly, just kind of the two of us. In all the Dogs on Acid forums, most toxic place on the planet.
And Dogs on Acid was fucking wild.
And yeah, I mean, we were just ordering records from Juno, and there was a record shop in DC, so it would be like our lunch break or whatever lunch period. We'd call up the shop on Fridays. Hey, did you get this in on white label? Because we knew it was coming on white label that day. And then we'd go, hold it for us, and we'd hop on the Metro and go over after class. Yeah. And for a while, I only had one turntable. He only had one because we were like 15. We didn't have enough money for two Technics. Right. And so it was kind of like divorced parents. Like he'd get the turntables one weekend. I get the turntables one weekend.
Right.
And we shared records.
Link up every now and then. Fucking,
exactly.
Fucking go all out.
Yeah, man. And so that's really what did it. And I was really into that heavy stuff for a little bit, but also kind of at the same time developing my current sound, which is really just like a Bristol sound. So like really into like Full Cycle at that time. And I was really into TC at the time. I mean, I think like one of the first records I bought was Deep with TC and Jake's.
Man. Yeah. TC's dope.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So, and then let's see, I went to college, University of Delaware, played a little bit up there, but they don't really have that much of a scene there. Played Philly a couple times while I was in college. I came back to DC, and I lived back in DC for a couple years, and that's really where I cut my teeth in the scene there.
That's what's up.
And then, moved down here.
Oh, what got you down here, man?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I moved to Denver. I lived in Denver for a year. Talk about great scenes. Like, I had DC scene, Denver scene are incredible.
Yeah,
like, incredible places to be.
The thing I hear about Denver the most is the quality of the sound in the venues.
Is
incredible.
I'll also say DC too, man, actually I think had the best sound. So
really?
My favorite venue of all time, it closed down during COVID, RIP, but U Street Music Hall, it was consistently rated on like Mixmag. It was like a top 10 sound system.
That's what's up.
And then they have a place called Flash that has unbelievable sound. It's like a full function one. It's like really done up, but it's a small room. It fits like 100 people or less, but with like a full function one. It's incredible.
Like a listening lounge, huh?
Oh man, it's awesome. Yeah. But I'm sorry. Oh, how did I get down here?
Yeah, down here.
So I was in Denver.
A woman, huh?
I was in Denver. Yeah, I met my wife. Shout out to Emma. I don't know what camera I'm supposed to be looking at, but there you go.
Any of them. You could just look at any of them.
Okay. I'm looking at that one.
Good from every angle.
Yeah, she got work down here, and I wasn't actually feeling Denver that much. Like, I loved the scene there, but the city wasn't vibing with me. I helped her move down here, and it was just like, for the first time, I kind of felt like, all right, this is where I'm supposed to be. You know, it was like the spirit of the city like spoke to me. And
needed to get submerged, huh?
And I moved down. We'd only been dating 6 months, and we moved in together, and we got married last year. So now that's it.
Well, congratulations
on
that, man. Yeah, good. You still smiling about it. So
it's great. It's great, man. Yeah.
It's so amazing. You said a year and a half here.
That I've been living down here?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've been down here 6 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got you. I
got married a year ago.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And I wasn't as active. I mean, I played shows for Joe and everybody. You know, I was part of NOLA DNB, but I wasn't throwing or promoting anything until pandemic when Joe and I had the opportunity at Portside to do Jungle Punch. So that was I'm still kind of new on that front.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, because y'all are already going elsewhere and doing takeover parties, man. Like, y'all were just in Pensacola or Panama City?
We went to Pensacola.
Yeah. How was that?
It was pretty cool. They had a nice little crew out there. It was the coolest place because it was like a record store where they had pushed like all the records to the side. Some of the stuff was on wheels, like I guess the crates for the records and everything. And they just had it set up with laser lights and all that, and they had that little crowd out there. And there was also like art being done, like people painting, like a guy painting in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
That always brings a cool element to see like something like that going on too. And,
It does, man. We used to do in Baton Rouge at Club Culture when I was doing my little bit of promotion. That's what we used to do. I used to have graffiti expos and like live interactive art exhibits going on inside and shit. It'd be crazy, man. But it did. It always chilled the place out a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it made people move around more, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, what was really cool about the place, I have to say this, is that they had a coffee bar that actually still served like alcohol and beer, which to me that was like better. Like I'm a big coffee nerd, so I was like, wait, I can get like a latte? They're like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, and you can get
it's like
one
the
with
best
whiskey
party
in it.
ever.
Right. Yeah, at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, this is great. It's like they had like a little guy with an espresso machine and the whole 9 yards. I was like, this is what. So,
Yeah,
like,
I'm up there trying to play a set, and Joe's ordering his double skinny latte.
Yeah.
I'm sitting over there with the Starbucks looking thing, and he's got his like whiskey. But it was, hey, it was still, it was great to have that.
Yeah.
So you always have to have alcohol or something. I don't mind this, but
man, I love the adult coffee or adult milkshake. I love that, man. I'm all about it. I mean, I don't really drink a lot, but if I'm going to, I want it to taste good.
Right.
And I mean, just most alcohol doesn't.
Right.
No.
Yeah. It's
Except for this. What?
Yeah,
man,
I can't believe you discovered this thing.
This shit is good. I didn't discover they put me on it. Earl over there in the booth put me on this shit at the comedy festival this weekend. He says that we went through 3 bottles of it. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true.
Hey Joe, can you grab that? Can we get another close up of the bottle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Can you show it to the camera guy? Can you zoom in? There you go.
Old Smoky, Tennessee.
Salty watermelon.
Yeah, salty watermelon. And then the peanut butter over there. I've got this cranberry over here. I'm not on my period. I know it's a natural diuretic.
I actually think it's supposed to help with UTIs, not with periods.
It might do that. A lot of women,
I know that because I'm married.
A lot of women do drink it on their period.
Oh, okay.
And I know that, thank you to Martin Scorsese for, following that bit of information with a very violent scene. But yeah, I don't know if y'all seen The Departed. Y'all seen
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie.
My wife drinks it when she's on a period. It's a natural diuretic. You got your period? Yeah. You fucked that dude up. Anyway, that's why I'm toxic. Too many fucking mob movies and shit.
Oh, wow.
I think it's healthy.
Yeah, I do
it's
too. I do too.
It's healthy.
I don't know. Yeah, what do y'all think about cyberbullying?
I try to be a big proponent of it.
I do my part.
Yeah.
I do my part.
I try to chip in when I can.
A friend of mine does a real funny joke about it, and he's like, I don't think it's real. It can't be, man. I mean, you could put that thing in your pocket. It's like, just turn it off. So
That's true.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm in no way promoting bullying, but if it happens, it'll probably make you a little stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
If you feel like cyberbullying Brandon, I think there's a comment section below this video.
Absolutely, there is, and you could go to my you could go directly to my pages, Instagram or Facebook. The only thing that I require is that when you see me in person, you say the same shit. Just say the same shit, because I know how you feel. Anyways, so. Working together, that y'all had never thought about it before.
No,
before the Jungle Punch.
I
It
mean,
kind of grew naturally.
Yeah, it just kind of grew naturally. We did a live stream together during COVID, and after that, we just started talking. He's like, "Man, my wife's cool if you want to swing through. Bring a mask or whatever, wash your hands, and Because at the time there was no
you
that
watched those
vaccine
things.
stuff, so
Yeah, this was
I can't-
early
It was like the
pandemic.
early. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
people
he's
were
like, but-
still licking on shit in public. Yeah.
yeah. So I started swinging by his place, and Danny, the guy that owned Portside at the time, he was kind of operating as a restaurant because he had a lady in the kitchen serving Caribbean food, and so a lot of people were going there to get to go and all this, but he started like trying to sell merchandise to get a little like extra cash in his pocket. He's like, I got hats, T-shirts. So one day I swung over there and I was like, man, give me a shirt and a hat, and I bought some merchandise from him. And it had been a minute since we had seen each other, so we started talking about old times. And then I told him, one day I told Taylor, tell that guy, because he lived so close and going over there all the time. I said, tell that guy you know me. And he was like, okay, I'll do that. So one day he told him, he's like, holy, you know Joe? And he's like, yeah. So one day I went down there again just to hang out with him. Like, I was passing through, and I told Taylor, hey, meet me at Portside. And the three of us were in this bar just hanging out drinking.
Yeah.
And he started telling us of this idea he had to get people in his bar. He's like, I'm operating as a restaurant, right? He's like, I can have private events. And he's in that band. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're a local like stoner rock band called Suplex. They've been around since like, I don't know, 1996.
Yeah, word.
They're very good friends of mine. And because I was, like I said in the early days, I was in the metal scene too. So like in a band, and our bands played together a bunch. So that's how long we go back. High school, the whole scene of that. And so anyway, he's like, I'm going to have a show for my band. I'm going to sell 25 tickets because that's the max I can have in here. Everybody's going to have to wear a mask, blah, 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 all that crap.
And this was like, you can have less than 50% capacity.
Yeah,
this was
all those rules.
This was like January 2021.
I'm going to sell tickets online, and it's sold out.
Yeah.
And it went over and he had no problems. So we were like, wow, that's awesome, dude. He's like, well, I got something for you guys. Why don't you do one of your drum and bass parties? You think y'all could sell it out? And I'm like, yeah, man, nothing else is really going on.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. I said, it's 25 people. I'm pretty sure we can do it.
Yeah.
And then immediately it sold out. And we did the party. And he was like, this is awesome. And then we did another one. And then after that, restrictions lifted. And he came to us and said, guys, y'all can have a monthly. And we're like, hell yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Here we are.
That's what's up. Yeah, you had to find any outlet you could during those times, man.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
at one time I told Taylor, I think it was for the second one, I said, do you realize we're the only drum and bass thing in America right now? Everybody's closed.
Wow.
Everybody.
I mean,
no respect in LA, nothing in San Francisco, nothing in New York.
Yeah.
Everybody was closing because we found this one loophole.
Yeah.
Because we had a guy that was operating as a restaurant, which he technically was. It wasn't like he was breaking the law. But he found that one loophole.
And it was the whole idea of private parties, so it wasn't an open bar. You couldn't show up to the door. Like you had to have
purchased the ticket.
Purchased in advance, so we knew exactly who was going to be there. You had to wear a mask. So we tried to do it like as safely as you could do it as well. You know?
There was sanitizer everywhere for everybody if you felt like you needed to use it. The bartender had a mask on. It was done properly. And from what I understand, nobody ever got sick. I didn't hear anything of that. So kudos for him finding that loophole to let us kind of start the ball rolling.
A lot of businesses made it through doing that, switching over to a restaurant. And it had like 85% of their shit had to be.
I think he was already kind of doing that before the pandemic. So it really worked out in his favor. Like he didn't have to go switch his license or whatever around. He just was like, well, wait a minute. If I can have a private party, then I can have a private party for my band. And then they can have a private party for their DJ crew. Yeah. And one thing he said was, and I got to give him props, is what we were trying to do is this. He said after the first show, he's like, Joe, you didn't bring bands come and they bring like their fans, and sometimes they say we have all these fans and they show up and it's like their girlfriends and like 5 other people. Yeah. And I'm like, right. He's like, dude, you brought a scene to my bar. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that was the key. I said, that's what I want to do. It's not about me. It's not about Glassy. It's not about Coastill. It's about NOLA DNB. It's about drum and bass for the city. And that's all we want to do.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's even less about NOLA DNB. It's just about drum bass.
It's about drum and bass, really, period.
Right.
We don't care who's doing it. Bring it.
That's the thing is I don't associate, most people I associate with a crew, whether it be a NOLA DNB or below sea level or, tight step concept, whatever it might be. But y'all, I see y'all more as affiliates. I associate y'all more with each other than I do with anything else. But man, y'all are sturdy in the scene, and that's yeah, man. I mean, dude, to no man is an island, but maybe two of them are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck ever, man.
Well, we have
thing.
There's a big age difference between us, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I just made 49.
49.
And he's
I'm 32.
Okay, yeah.
So what's
17
great
years,
about that is I have the old
that's
school
wild,
experience.
man. Yeah.
And he's got the younger experience for the internet and all that stuff that I'm really kind of not as good at.
And you're from here.
Yeah, I'm from
It's
here.
shocking that I don't know you before.
I know because I came late to the scene. Like I said, I was still in a band in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And I met my friend Jay Double or Justin. A lot of people know him.
Yeah.
And he's the one that brought me kind of in. And we started hanging out a lot. And then next thing I know, like I said, I was opening, doing the live PA.
Yeah.
Then it turned into, he taught me how to DJ, Bradley, a few other guys, and just kind of pitched in. And then next thing I know, Justin's like, dude, I want to start throwing parties. Like, I can get a few things going. And because Below Sea Level kind of stopped throwing parties.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And so he's like, well,
those guys,
and he was part of that too. He was part of that.
Hey, they laid the foundation.
Yeah, they laid the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, big up to Below Sea Level.
Yeah, Greenleaf, BB, oh my
Russell
God.
Simeon,
Boys,
Selector,
Russell,
Recognize,
Recognize,
man, all them dudes. That's
Critter.
fam from way back, man. Yeah. Fucking, I mean, Greenleaf, like that was. When I moved here, that's who I moved in with. Was
Oh,
Greenleaf.
you moved in with Greenleaf.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You might have seen me at a basement safari, just didn't know it was me.
Yeah, may very well have, man. And then like fucking Paul, Brother Electric, was my roommate for a long time.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, our bands in the
man.
90s, he was in a band, and our bands played together.
Yeah,
and then one day, I went to go play at Basement Safari, and he's playing before me, and I knew him with dreadlocks and everything.
Yeah.
And
see, I didn't, which is fucking crazy,
right? So but we have the same tattoo artist, and I remember when I first met him.
Yeah, Randy.
He had me and Randy, right? So I met Paul in the 90s, and he had like on a like a tank top or something, and I'm like, man, your tattoo work is amazing. It's like, oh, Randy did it, and I'm like, oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, about 10 years later, I was fortunate enough to have Randy tattoo me.
Yeah, that's his waiting list. It was like
exactly,
10
it took
years.
10 years.
Fucking whatever.
Shout out to Randy for that one. But
absolutely.
hey, he's worth it,
Yeah.
And people always come up to me and talk about, oh, where did you get that? So he's DJing, and he was wearing a tank top, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know this guy, but he had short hair.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Yeah, he went from dreadlocks to a Nazi cut.
And then we were like all tagging, me, him, and Justin. We were like rotating out at basement in like the early, like maybe 10 o'clock, we started doing it. And all of a sudden he's standing by me, I'm looking at him like, dude, I know you. And he's like, how do you know me? And I'm like, I'm Joe from that band to Purge for. And then he was like, oh my God, wait, our band's... I'm like, I know, you're... I couldn't think of his name at the moment because, smoke a lot of weed and time had passed by, and I was like, oh, and he's like, I'm Paul, and I'm like, that's it. And then, but from there on out, me and him have been like really good friends, kept in touch, got each other's phone number, and that just helped solidify him being a part of all what goes on now too. He's a big part of that as well. He doesn't have social media, so a lot of people don't know who he is.
He's so stubborn with that shit. He is just not giving in.
I appreciate it though. I wish I could do that, man.
You couldn't do anything without it nowadays. Like,
we couldn't be doing Jungle Punch without social media.
Yeah, no shit,
it sucks
man.
Because I'm used to the flyering, the polls.
Yeah, that's me, bro. I want to staple some shit to something every now and then, bro.
The problem is nobody's looking at the polls anymore because their head's down at their phone as they walk past.
They staple their fucking phone to a pole. Anyways.
I wanted to go back real quick, just what you were saying about, you don't necessarily associate us with like a crew, and I think that's like...
I mean, I associate y'all kind of with every crew, like affiliated with every crew.
Well, I think that's something that Joe and I also like very intentionally tried to do when we first started Jungle Punch.
Yeah.
And I think it's always been at the ethos of like NOLA DNB in general, but it's like, it's not about like an individual or like a group. It's about the music and pushing that forward. And
that's what's up.
To me, I mean, that's what I always try to do with Jungle Punch too, and what we both did is just like always trying to get new folks in, get people like Javier that like spin techno normally, but do have a love for drum bass.
He came in and did a drum and bass set, right?
Yeah, and he kills it. He's like, it's amazing. and really trying to like cultivate that, because to me, yeah, it's just about the music.
It really is, man. It's such a sound that the scene is so small that it definitely does. We don't need to be drawing lines around it,
not at all.
But that's the lineage of it. That's how it that's how it came down.
Oh yeah.
It came down the line. So everybody kind of followed that suit. But no, I totally appreciate y'all like standing to that, man. It's
Yeah.
But once you see scene shit, it seems like y'all both came from like scene oriented shit.
Yeah.
And once you see how that operates, it's easier to stand, just individually and not necessarily buy into all the scene politics.
Right.
And that shit comes with anytime you like, oh, this is my crew and that's your crew. Fuck that, man. Like, let's all cuddle puddle. Cuddle puddle.
Coming
Can't
from,
we
like,
all just get along?
Yeah, which is weird to say about maybe a drum and bass scene. This is usually a bunch of screw-faced dudes. But
No, that's gonna be
take a fucking smile.
That's the title of my next single, actually. Is
It's
Cuddle
cuddle
Puddle.
puddle. Hell yeah.
And speaking of like when I was in like the metal scene or the band scene, there's a lot of the same stuff goes on in that scene that goes on in the electronic DJ scene. Instead it's bands.
Man. Yeah.
And they have their internal drama, and then they have the drama with the other bands.
Yeah, it's more like gang fights.
Oh, they're all cliques, like all same bands, just always play together.
Oh, that sounds like a nightmare.
So,
yeah, it does.
But the DJ scene has that too sometimes. Where you're like, oh, it's the same. But
Comedy's
I think now
got it too,
it's a
man.
lot
I'm
more.
sure.
Comedy's got it too.
Yeah, I bet it does. But I think now it's kind of everybody's more coming together since COVID. I think that's really like awakened people to like, man, I need to be more, supportive of everybody versus just
we're all in
myself.
this together.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
We are really. We really are, dude.
And like you said, the scene is so small, man. We just gotta support each other.
The entertainment scene in New Orleans is a crazy scene to be in. No matter what you're in, comedy, DJ, band.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, and no matter
fighting,
what, man.
Street performer.
Just like a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. Any gathering of people is going to have its internal strifes. But yeah, man, I mean, there is when you're looking at an entertainment scene here where everybody that's entertaining you is also fans. They're also your audience,
right?
And that's no matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're cooking in a restaurant, whether you're playing music, whether you're DJing, whether you're doing comedy. It's all the same things. And man, it's people are gonna make that. So I don't know how we get rid of it, but it used to be plur. We don't really do that anymore.
Right.
Nobody says that more. It's like now it's like people look ugly rolling. Yeah. But yeah. So new venues y'all are working with. Are there any that y'all are willing to talk about?
Well, I mean, we have
possibly?
Dave Owen in 2 days, so that'll be at Santos.
Santos.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, this won't be out by then, but it will be a good show. Y'all should have gone.
We got lucky enough. We've like speaking of what you talk about, people coming together. We've recently teamed up with Electric Coast Alliance, and we've been working with them a lot. And they brought in, they're bringing in Ronnie Size.
Are they?
They
out of
they
here?
put us on that bill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shout out to Lacuna Productions. And Eric with Bass Church, they put us up for LTJ when they had him back in the I think it was February.
Yeah.
Or January.
Man, May, dude. It was May 1st.
It was May 1st. Oh, I'm way off. But
good.
anyway, we like you said, we've all been kind of coming together with all the crews or people that are whatever you want to call it that have their own little thing going on, but we've been trying to work with everybody. You know.
Yeah.
And
That's the way forward.
even if you play a different genre, but you want to do a drum and bass set. Hit us up, man. We'll throw you on. We got a lot of people asking us to play, but we'll try to make room for you.
Yeah. So y'all aren't solely drum and bass. I mean,
well, for the most part, yeah. But I mean, like if there's a DJ that, like he said, Javier plays a lot of techno, but he also plays drum and bass.
He does.
He was the reason we were in Spectrum doing our drum and bass night, and a lot of nights he would just open it up, warm it up for us. And so that's what I mean, like you're in the drum and bass, let us know. Like we're not against like, oh, you play house, Nah, some days are over, man. I'm ready to. No, you got drum and bass. Come play drum and bass. You know, we got the place to do it. So
and if you never played before, shit,
that too.
Come play. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, like we always looking for new folks, and like literally anybody. Like another thing, in a DC scene, I was part of a crew called Subdistrict that was like this very. It was a monthly that was dedicated towards like cultivating new talent in DC. Shout out to Jules if he's watching. And yeah, that was a big thing that I took from that was just like the importance of just giving and creating space for newcomers because as somebody that, you know, everyone's been there at some point, it's so hard to break into like an insular scene. And so being able to create space for just like, no, you're new, you want to get like, come on, man. Like, take a shot. Let's go.
That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective because, honestly, my introduction to the whole that sound and that scene comes through direct rave scene. Like, we were listening to breaks and house and trance and all kinds of other shit, and then directly beside it was that room, which is not the same these days. Now it's like you got a drum and bass event. It's happening at whatever bar or club, and then the house shit is across town.
Right.
And the association is not necessarily there. So it was much easier. The people that we were already friends with were the people that would have been like the guardians of the gate or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that to people, for me to come across people who were introduced to it through a commercial aspect or something outside of that is so it's like I love that story, man. It's like really totally outside of any of this shit. You were listening to drum and bass before you went to drum and bass events.
Oh yeah, man.
That's a foreign concept to me.
I was nerding out on Chemical Records. What were the new releases this week? And I'd never been to a show.
Man, that's the one thing that I'm really envious of younger folk for is the access, the immediate access. Man, we had to go fucking dig.
Right. That's what I said. I couldn't really find it.
Yeah.
Until I met somebody that was really into it and gave me a bunch of CDs he had burned for me and stuff. And I was like, oh, man, thank you. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, this is the stuff I've been needing to listen to. Where you've been all my life.
It's also been kind of depressing for me because I'm like, they're so easy access. But then people are like, oh, no, they just don't like drum and bass.
Right. Yeah, man, there's a lot of people. I'm telling you, there are a lot a lot of people that are
it's
just
an acquired taste.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, I don't really go for acquired taste. Like a beer, I don't drink it. Never acquired that taste.
You're either in it or you're not. Yeah.
So yeah, to suffer it out, man. I mean, really, when I tell you, it made me paranoid, man. Like the shit.
What were they playing? Was this like some tech itch?
Well,
like
the first thing that I ever heard was it was straight raga jungle, and I mean like just this is the mid '90s, so it's like
a lot of snares,
real clattery, real fucking
tons of snares,
lots of sirens.
I was gonna say dumb sirens everywhere.
Fucking like, oh, do I need to run? I'm inside. Where are they? Why? What the fuck? Where am I going?
How'd they get this cop car in the club?
MC's like real angry.
Man, it was. I mean, it was just. It was so new to me, and even okay. So I mean, I listened to my fair share of metal and punk and whatever, but. Hip hop was always my love, and finding that connection there, that's really what really fucking drew
that makes
me
a lot
in.
of sense with progression sessions.
Well, it's way smoother. Yeah, man. I mean, dude, that dude as a navigator through that sound was spectacular.
Yeah.
Yes. But just it was the softer side of that, it really was
soulful.
Not to take anything away from the sound, because fucking Bookham is the goddamn man, and that sound I will always, when I hear that, it will stop me. It will stop me. It's the only music in that genre that has made me tear up. Wow. And fucking like those mixes are deep as fuck, man. I didn't know that could be done.
Right.
As somebody
that stuff's hard to mix. Like it's not as on the grid as say current music.
Yeah.
Trust
yeah.
me, because I've fooled with a lot
and
of
you
it too
you were
sometimes.
dealing with live shit right off the top. I hear that that's way harder. I don't know anything about it, but I hear that that's way harder to mix than
Oh yeah, live music's way
Yeah.
hard to mix. Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
like,
mean, I know you're dealing with more components for
yeah.
sure.
Well, when I started doing my stuff back in the day, I was really just like playing bass lines to like drums and triggering samples. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
You know, kind of replicating like having the drummer that I was used to having. So all my drums would just be on that one CDJ.
Yeah.
And I would just fill in the rest. Or I might have had
okay.
some.
Okay.
I might have had some other like atmospheric tones going on as
Yeah.
well. So I didn't have to try to do everything. But for the most part, I was playing the bass lines of the keyboard riffs, whatever you want to say, as far as triggering the samples, all that before I got into the DJing. And let me tell you, the first time I got into DJing, like you